Yeah, well, I figured I'd make a video about old stuff. I've been going on the internet and just looking for things from my past that I thought I could remember, seeing if I could Google them and find them. Had a lot of luck, I've found just about everything that I've thought of to look for. But I'll just start at the top with the way it's listed. First one on the list is the little 10 transistor radio that my dad brought it to me or sent it to me. He was off in Vietnam. It was just really cool. 12 string. Dad got a 12 string guitar from Sears one Christmas. It wasn't a very good quality guitar. It was like a Harmony or a Silvertone or something like that. Man, it would just wreck your fingers to try to play it, but we all played it and we loved it. Dad liked it. And then there were the the colored anodized aluminum tumblers that we had at Buford that were not very good drinking glasses. I guess that's what made them unforgettable. They were aluminum. So whenever you put anything really cold in them, they sweated really bad and they were uncomfortable to hold. I'll never forget those. And who could forget Ban Roll-On? It was the deodorant that was always in our medicine chest. Beatles Cars. A friend of ours that I was riding in a car with, the guy bought me some Beatles bubblegum cards. And when we got back to where my dad was, he immediately confiscated them and said I couldn't have them. I guess the Beatles were just a little bit too radical for my dad. I mean, who could forget the boob tube, man? That was some ridiculous toy we got for Christmas. Stupid boob tube. And then there's the Boy Scout compass. That when I found it by accident looking for something else. And the Brownie Camera, boys remember having that Brownie Camera around and taking pictures with it. Took a lot of pictures with that thing. It's a pretty cool camera. And then the chalkware horse. I believe this is one of them. The one we had was really carnival. It's carnival prize, and they're very cheaply colored. And ours, I remember, had glitter on it. And it was always on the shelf in the utility room. And then the chemistry set. Yeah, that was a very big thing in my life when I was a kid. That chemistry set, man. And when I saw the picture of it, it just all flooded back to me. Every little piece of it, And then Coburg, who could forget Coburg, the dairy, where we got our milk. The only image I found was this one with the chocolate milk, and it's ironic. I drank gallons and gallons of Coburg chocolate milk. I grew up on that stuff. Cub Scout scarf. I remember those. I was Cub Scout for a while. I found this glue. It's this glue that we had at school, and I guess we had it at home. I can remember tasting it, and it was mint flavored. That's right, it was mint flavored. That was what made it unique. I always wondered why they made it mint flavored. And then the Golden Book Encyclopedia. Who could forget those, man? We had those around. I don't know about the other members of our family, but I spent hours and hours going back through those encyclopedias, just looking at the pictures and reading about stuff. I guess a lot of what I know came from those encyclopedias. They're extremely nostalgic to see, the covers of each one. Green ashtray stamps. Who can forget greenback stamps? We all saved those things. They were like in a drawer next to the refrigerator, I believe. And then Happy Rain. That was the TV show that we used to always watch. I guess there's YouTube of those old shows you can actually find. And then the Hydrodynamic. I always thought it was called the refinery set for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe that's why I had trouble finding it. I found it randomly looking for other stuff. But it was a gift that I remember that I received, and my dad had set up briefly, and then he took it away from me. He decided it was too complex a toy for me. Instamatic camera. It was like the Brownie camera, the Instamatic, man. We just had it laid around and got beat up more than it got used. But whenever we needed to use it, it was there and it worked. The old Instamatic, man. I think everybody had one of those. Johnny Astro. I looked for this one for a long time because I didn't know what it was called. But that fan toy, man, you'd use the fan to blow this balloon around, and the aerodynamics of the air would cause the balloon to track wherever you aim this fan, and you could take it off and land it. And it was just a balloon with this little lightweight plastic frame underneath it that gave it leg. Kite. was looking for kites, and I thought I'd found the one that looked like, the one I remember. And then I came across this one, and it's like, yeah, that's the one, man. I remember that spaceship. That's it. Cool kite. Um, Melodica. Yeah, we had two of these. We got them both as a set one time. And, yeah, we played a lot on those things. Military watch. Yeah, my dad, he used to come home with several of these. I guess they're considered disposable, but I used to always wear them for the romper room. That was another one show that we used to watch. I think Rebecca was in the romper room, and she insists that that they used to give them kids green bananas, but then she realized they showed the show in black and white, and she was wondering how she knew it. A pin crystal radio. Yeah, I got one of these. I remember playing with it, taking it to school. It was a pretty neat thing. It didn't need battery. You could just hook up to a ground somewhere and tune in. Piggly Wiggly was where we used to get our groceries, right down the street from where we lived, man. Piggly Wiggly. My mom used to make us go down there and buy her wine when we were underage. This lunchbox, the one I remember having when I was very young, it was the lunchbox that I remember. Scout flashlight. Yeah, I used to have the little pocket size one. I remember I lost it down a drain grating at Fort Pulaski. It really pissed me off. Scout knife. Yeah, I remember I had one of those as Dad's Shoeshine Box. That was something that I was just thinking of stuff to remember, and it just came to mind. And I actually tracked it down. And very nostalgic. Mom had a green Singer sewing machine, and it was a portable because I remember it was in a cupboard. And Rebecca's Slinky dog. She says she still has that thing, which is kind of unusual, but I guess some things you just hang on to. Spiffy collar stays. Yeah, Dad used to wear these with his military uniform, and you'd always see him sitting up on top of the dresser. It's just a little stainless steel wire contraption with little springs and a pin. We had these stickers on the kitchen light switch, and they were just these, hippie flowers stickers, and we put it over the light switch. And the ones we had, I think Rebecca said were like white and pink, I believe. And then Rebecca had these dolls. She had one of them. And she says she still has it. And I wonder if it still plays. I can't even remember the things it used to say, but yeah, Rebecca still has hers. Tape recorder. Yeah, we used to make funny tapes. We used to just sit around for hours and just make hilarious whatever dialogue we could just randomly blurt out. And, we'd stop the tape recorder and think of new stuff. We'd do these little skits. We'd always have these things. I remember taking this tape recorder when I first got it into the movie theater, so I could record 2001: Space Odyssey. Wax drinks. I think these are still around, but yeah, I'll always remember wax drinks, man. Those are just stupid. Bublos, yeah, those stripes, those little ribbons that you wore on your shoulder. I'd forgotten all about those. That's where you put your little merit badges when you got them. The wicker chair. You know, we had this big dish-looking thing out on the porch with, I think it had an orange cushion, and I remember laying in that thing a lot. Another wicker chair that we had in the living room. I guess it was in the living room. Maybe it had some other places, but we eventually wore that thing out, man. We just creaked it back and forth until it just turned into dust. And then one Christmas, Rebecca got this fashion set that came with one of these wigs. I believe it's the black one. It was just the stupidest toy, She was really disappointed by it. She thought she was going to get a wig that's like hair-like, but no, she just got this thing that was like a helmet. I remember she really thought it was stupid. Winn-Dixie is the last picture in this particular video that I have that was the other store in our life that I remember. It was down there across from Robert Small's high school is where Winn-Dixie was. And that's where we used to get a lot of groceries. Granddad used to go there and shop. Yep. Well, that's all for now.